Hello, Scrap and Ames fans. How are we all today? I have another layout for you, a 12 by 12 mixed media one. Now, this is for the March Shop and Crop sketch challenge. There's the sketch just there, you'll see coming up. And here we go. All right, let's get into the layout. That's my photo of me in my lovely crafty space, and I'm going to use that gel medium there to push through this stencil. It was actually an idea I'd seen just prior to doing this layout. I think the lovely Inky Quill had done. I've never used gel medium before. I actually brought it in off someone online in a garage sale site thing, and yeah, just playing with it now. I've tried the clear gel medium. I don't know what it's called. It seems to thin things out, so it hasn't worked the first time. This one worked really, really well, as you'll see. I won't show you the whole process of going through this stencil, but I absolutely adored how it turned out. So I was so proud of it, and that it had done what I wanted it to do. And it worked so well, I think it stumped me for a minute as to what I was actually going to do with this background once I decided. Alright, so just as you can see, just using my little palette knife there just to spread it around, and look at that. Oh, I'm so happy. I loved the way it looked. Yeah, how it turned out. It did take a bit to dry, so I've just pushed it to the side and I'm just looking at, I think, matting my photo, putting some layers behind it and whatnot. So those papers there, that vellum piece is from the new Wild at Heart Cocoa Vanilla range, and the floral piece underneath, hang on, I'll tell you, I think it's a crepe paper one. I brought it in one of my hauls recently. Hang on, trying to dig through the stuff on my desk. Sorry, it's not. It's a, yes, it is crepe paper. Maggie Holmes Gather collection. It's the Jane paper. I don't actually know if I use it, but anyway, blah blah blah. Alright, so as you can see, just working with my photo here. This sketch was something different for me. Again, so it was a bit of a challenge. I'm really trying to do the layering thing and matting photos and things like that. It's not something I have really ever done before, so on my 12 by 12s. So just been giving it a bit of a go, as you might have seen in some of my videos recently. Now, I do go with the little glassine bag here. I liked the yellow, despite the fact there's not really any yellow in the picture itself. I think it made the picture pop really well off the background because it is slightly dark, the photo. There's sort of like pink from my craft mat and stuff and elements in my shirt, but the yellow here it turned out really, really well. I was actually really happy with the way this went for me. Again, something I haven't used, and yeah, embellishment piece I haven't used before. But yeah, it turned out, yeah, really, really well. I don't have the layout in front of me actually. Anyway. Alright, so just fiddling around with my stuff on my desk. I did have a bit of a plan what I was going to use, just not sure how I was going to use it. So that stencil you see there, I think I had planned to use it. I can't remember if I did. I'll have to wait and see. I did actually. And you'll see how, and I'll explain my take on the sketch. Sorry, croaky voice. And just trying to use some odds and ends in my stash as well. Not necessarily using a set collection or anything or a kit in this one. I just used what I had kicking about. So that pink piece you can see, pattern paper at the back, sorry, was just in my scrap drawer. So I just pulled some bits and pieces out of there because, as I said, I was layering the photo. So just going with it. Oops, stuck to my mat. Do I add any more? There you go. Do I add this? So I had to rip the double-sided tape that was on the little bag piece, and then, yeah, sticking to everything else. So this pattern paper had the tones of the yellow and the pink, which, you know, it all tied in really, really well, although that wasn't the plan. Like the yellow was not part of it, as I said, so I think I'm really happy with the way those layers turned out. I think it turned out really well. It's made the photo stand out a bit and pop up, which is always the plan. All right, now to play with my cardstock, my background. Yeah, it did, just to note that gel medium took ages. Like, I had hit it with the heat gun as well, and it still took, I didn't want to sort of overheat it as such. I don't know if you can do that, but yeah, still all new to me. But yeah, so I think I'm just playing around still. I think I actually planned this all out whilst it's still drying. So I wanted to use a frame, as you can see here. I can't remember if that was in the sketch or not. Let me see. Don't know. Anyway, just playing around with some different frames from different, bits and pieces. And that tag, because in the, I do remember in the sketch, there is a tag sitting at the back behind a photo. So I still wanted to add that element in. It's just not in the same spot as the sketch. So I guess as I've said before, the sketch challenges are sort of what I believe is my take on it. That's the idea they wanted you to stick to and have those key elements, and how you represent those. I could be wrong, but that's just how I sort of roll with it. All right, so that took me a lot of fussing around of what I was going to put where and and everything. Oh, I zoomed in. Okay, so here comes the stencil. So in the sketch, I'll explain. In the sketch, there are some lines in the background that look, could be taken as washi tape or whatever. I've taken it as washi tape strips as well as this chevron pattern. So what I do end up doing is, you'll see me in a second, is through that stencil, I think I actually put just some, do I just test out the acrylic paints? Maybe. Yeah, I think I'd try that Delusions paint there actually, or I don't know which one, or both of the pinks. So I add some of the distress sprays, the pink distress spray, and try and use my brush to mush it around a little bit and get the sort of to colour the gel medium there over the words, that scripty font there. The brush technique does not work, so what I did was ended up going back in with just some water in one of my mists, and just sprayed it directly onto the cardstock and then mushed it around, as you can see, using sort of the packaging technique there, which ended up making it blend out quite well, and so you can still colour, it's still coloured the scripty font, and yeah, it just didn't look sort of splattered too much as such. It's all trial and error. Mixed media is still a little bit new to me, and how different elements will work. I try and just go with the flow, and if I see some ideas, like I said, I saw this done prior to me doing this layout, and I decided I'd do it for this one when I was watching one of the YouTube videos recently on the Inky Quill on her page, Adele's page. Just drying up the excess there. I just used some paper towel there just to dab around and dry it up. Now what am I doing? Fussing. Fussing around just a fraction. Oh, I do mark out this time where my photo, I don't usually do this, but I wanted the chevron pieces and the strips to sort of be sort of prominent. It didn't clash with the photo as such on the sketch, and then so I didn't want it to, yeah. Now I do fiddle around where my journaling tags are going to go. I don't journal straight onto the cardstock. I actually journal onto, as you can see, these little label pieces here. These were from a Kitaholics kit, potentially March's one. I think I just journal something about me being in my happy, crafty space. So So I don't have a room as such, I just have a little area that's sort of kind of blocked off with walls between the kitchen and the lounge room. So it was to be an office, and it's kind of looking that way, but I'm slowly taking over. There's shelves in here with stuff for scrapbooking. There's one of those Kmart trolleys. I've added a new little, table thing that you can manoeuvre around that has bits and pieces on it. And the desk has my craft mat and bits and pieces on it as well. So not a lot of office work happens directly in here. Oops. But anyway, I had a thing with using this washi of late. It came in my March kit, and I don't know why I kept using it to do that. Just something randomly. I'm supposed to do. So marking out my photo, then I'm going to use this, as I said, the chevron stencil with some of those paints. It didn't go the way I wanted, but in the end it still looked, I felt the layout still looked alright. I was just a bit disappointed. And it's the first time I've used acrylic paint through a stencil, and I'm not sure whether or not it was too like watery kind of thing. And so therefore sort of come under the stencil piece itself, as opposed to keeping the shape, the pattern that was on there. Alright, so here I go trying this out. So you'll see here I fuss around a little bit as to how I'm going to put it through. So I did, as you saw just then, so that's a Kaiser Craft. Here's a candy actually, I think that's the pink colour it's called. As you can see, tried it on the palette knife directly, then spilt it on my mat, whoops, then tried it on the stencil. It didn't, once I sort of committed to this is what I was doing, I didn't end up stopping it, and thought, well, you know what, I'll just make it look good at some point, or make it work, as we do. So if anyone's got any tips about, can you put acrylic paint through a stencil, and if so, how? And what are the ways, I would love to know ways that you can use like the gel mediums. I have two different kinds. I have a clear sort of one that seems a little bit more thinner than the gel medium I used here. So yeah, so this is the, I think it's Cherry Pie Dilutions paint. And again, it didn't go the way I wanted it to. But, as I said, trial and error. So, yeah, as you can see there, that really didn't work. I ended up, as you can see, I tried to use it stamping the sort of the excess paint off. And I wanted to have a bit of a sort of pattern of washi tape, stencil pattern, washi tape, stencil pattern, and as you can see I'm working on down the bottom as well, some washi tape. Now the washi tape was chosen according to the colours I used in the background or in the layers of the photo. And you'll see, I guess, in a bit more of a close-up. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing, I don't think here, can you? Oh, there you go, I'll move it up. So I don't know where you guys are. I was going to do this voiceover last night for this, so it could be posted today, or be ready for at least tonight. But it is absolutely poured here. Like my backyard I'm looking at, it has like big pools of water laying in it. Yeah, and it was so loud that I just thought, I'm not going to do a voiceover because you probably aren't going to hear me. I wasn't sure how well that would go. I have no fancy sort of equipment for my voiceovering at this point. But yeah, so I'm glad it sort of stopped right now. I might do a couple of voiceovers so they're ready to go in case this weather decides to keep up. But yeah, and if there's anyone out there that needs the rain, I hope you get it. So just backing my photo, layering with some fun foam, or foam, whatever you want to call it. I think I've said before, I picked this one up from Right. I'm actually out now, so I'm going to have to go. I might go down to the cheap shop this afternoon and see if I can get any, because I also need some double-sided tape. I love that stuff. So as you can see off to the side, I do have my hot glue gun. And because there was so much mixed media on this between the sprays, the gel, and whatnot, I decided to use the hot glue as a way to sort of adhere it to the page better. I don't use it a lot, actually. I actually brought my hot glue gun to do some stuff when I was getting into the sort of the planner ring decorating thing. Yeah. So yeah, just making sure that sticks. I know that others have said, and I've said this before, that using things like the wet glue and the hot glue sometimes can work really good on heavy sort of mixed media backgrounds. So that's what I've done here, just stuck everything pretty much. The washi tape was the only concern I had, that it wouldn't stick, but it seems to have stuck and there's no issue. And I used the label here. You can see I'm trying to sort of cover up where that chevron pattern didn't work with the pink paint, the acrylic paint. Yeah. And now this tag. What am I doing? Oh, I'm probably going off to look for some twine to put in the tag, actually. Yeah. Yes, now I've decided if I have a tag, it has to have twine in the top. I never used to bother with it, and then I don't know why. I put it in the first time through one. I don't know. And now I'm just like, yep, it has to stay there. There we go. And in all honesty, I don't think this page is too embellished. I don't think I add too much more to this from memory. So as I said, of course, the wood veneer. So this Be Creative came in a kit from Kitaholic Kits a little while back. Or was that this month? No, sorry, I tell a lie. I think it came with mine this month. So I decided that was perfect, obviously, and I left it in that wood. I didn't colour it or anything like that because I just thought it matched in quite well and popped off the pink background better. I didn't want to add too much colour to it anymore because otherwise I think it would sort of fade into it a little bit. So I just picked some enamel dots here to use out of my little stash. I think I'm running low on them, actually. Might be time for a bit of a look-see for some more. So just pop a few of those on just to add a bit of sort of visual detail, some stuff that pops off the page. And then this layout is nearly done, nearly call it a day. There'll be some close-ups of it. As I said, my 2 questions, if anyone can give me an answer, that would be great. What's the best way to put, or can you put, acrylic or Dylusions paints, those sort of really liquidy ones, through those stencils, or is that just a no-go zone? I've learnt here that it sort of worked, sort of didn't. So I'm not sure if I did something wrong or if I needed to add something to it or to the paint or whatever. And the gel mediums. So there was that, whatever you call it, impasto, I think it said on it, gel medium that I used here, and it come out really, really well. But then there's the other one that's the clear. Hang on, let me have a look at my stash. I'll find out what it is. Oh, yeah, it's just clear gel medium. But it's really liquidy, so I'm not sure if that's... Yeah, it's really thin. So yeah, I'd love to any comments or feedback on how the best way to use those are. Because I would love to use them a bit more on some of my layouts if I can. Oh, a bit of Cold Heidi Shine, of course, just to add a bit more pop to the page. And then it's done. But leave me some feedback below on if you've got any helpful hints for what I just asked about the paints and stuff. That would be great. Thanks for stopping by and watching another one of my videos. And I will see you very soon in the next one. Just adding a few, yeah, so yeah, as you can see. Right. Making sure everything sticks, and that should be done. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, thanks for watching, and thanks in advance if you add any feedback for me. Thanks, Scrappin' fans. I will see you soon. Bye.